Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins from the modern United Kingdom era, the 2014 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin. At first glance, this little copper-plated steel piece might seem ordinary, something that slips easily between your fingers and jingles in your pocket without a second thought. But as you'll soon discover, this coin carries with it a story of heritage, artistry, and a twist of numismatic mystery that has made certain specimens worth as much as $9 million. Yes, you've heard that right, $9 million for a single 1 penny coin. How can that even be possible? Well, let's take a closer look. To truly appreciate this coin, we first need to understand its place in the long and proud lineage of British coinage. The penny has been a central part of the United Kingdom's monetary history for over 1,000 years, stretching all the way back to Anglo-Saxon times. It has witnessed kings, queens, revolutions, empires, and countless reforms. And through it all, the penny has remained a symbol of stability, a piece of metal that connected the everyday lives of people to the enduring image of their monarch. By 2014, the penny was already a familiar face in British pockets. It was one of the coins that formed the backbone of the decimal coinage system introduced in 1971, when the UK officially shifted from pounds, shillings, and pence to a modern, easier-to-understand decimal format. The 2014 Elizabeth II 1 penny continued that legacy, representing 1/100th of a pound sterling. But even though it was a small denomination coin, the craftsmanship and meaning behind its design were anything but small. On the obverse side of the coin, the front, we see the iconic effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history. The 2014 edition features the portrait designed by Ian Rank-Broadley, one of the most respected sculptors in modern numismatics. This particular portrait of the Queen was first introduced in 1998 and was used on all British coins up until 2015. Rank-Broadley's design was notable for its realism. He wanted to portray the Queen not as a distant figure of history but as the living monarch she truly was, graceful, wise, and dignified, yet with the natural marks of time that spoke of her long and dedicated service. His initials IRB can be seen just below the portrait, a quiet signature of artistic pride. The inscription around her profile reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2014. The letters stand for the Latin phrase, De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, which translates to, By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's a centuries-old tradition in British coinage to include this title, and it connects every coin bearing it to the deep-rooted history of the monarchy and the Church of England. Flip the coin over to the reverse, and you're greeted by a design that symbolizes Britain's strength, tradition, and national identity. The 2014 1 penny coin continues the shield of the Royal Arms design introduced in 2008 by Matthew Dent. When seen individually, the penny displays just the lower left segment of the shield, specifically, the part containing the cross of St. George from the English coat of arms. But when you place the penny alongside other coins in the British currency set, from the 1 penny to the 50 pence, together they form the complete image of the royal shield. It was an innovative concept, merging art and symbolism in a way that made even small change a piece of national pride. The composition of the 2014 1 penny is another story of evolution. Earlier pennies were made of bronze, but in 1992, the Royal Mint made a shift to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. The 2014 penny, therefore, has a core of mild steel, giving it a magnetic property that earlier coins didn't have, and it's coated with a thin layer of copper to preserve that familiar reddish-brown color. This change was both practical and symbolic, a sign of how even traditional institutions like the Royal Mint adapt to the modern age while maintaining their heritage. The coin's diameter measures 20.3 millimeters and it weighs 3.56 grams. Its smooth edge, unlike the milled edges of higher denominations, reflects its role as a coin meant for everyday use, simple, efficient, and durable. And yet, within these humble dimensions lies a level of design precision and minting technology that only centuries of expertise could produce. Now you might wonder, if this coin was mass-produced in the millions, what could possibly make it worth millions of dollars? The answer lies in a blend of rarity, error, and pure collector passion. While the 2014 one penny was indeed produced in large quantities, a handful of pieces that made it out of the Royal Mint's strict quality control process turned out to be extremely unusual. These rare varieties are what turn an everyday coin into a numismatic treasure point. One of the most famous and sought-after variations of the 2014 Elizabeth II one penny is the so-called aerostrike, or mule coin. In some incredibly rare cases, coins were accidentally struck with mismatched dies, meaning, for example, that the obverse might show the 2014 Queen Elizabeth II design, while the reverse might carry the wrong reverse die intended for a different denomination or year. These accidental combinations are almost mythical among collectors. Each one is unique, making them immensely valuable. Another reported anomaly involves off-center strikes, where the design is visibly misaligned because the blank coin wasn't properly seated in the press. Some coins also display double striking, where the die hits the planchet twice, resulting in a slightly shadowed or ghosted image. These minting errors, far from making the coin defective, actually transform it into a priceless rarity in the eyes of collectors. Even beyond the technical errors, the condition of a coin plays a major role in its value. Coins that remain in mint state, meaning they have never been circulated and retain their original luster, are exceptionally rare. When such a coin also belongs to a limited or aerostrike group, its auction value can skyrocket to unbelievable heights. But the story of the 2014 Elizabeth II one penny doesn't end with minting details. There's a deeper layer to its growing fascination among collectors worldwide. You see, 2014 marked a reflective time in the British monarchy. Queen Elizabeth II had surpassed 6 decades on the throne, and there was a growing sense of appreciation for her legacy. Many collectors, both in the UK and abroad, began seeking out coins from her later reign, especially those minted close to significant royal anniversaries. The 2014 penny, being part of the Rank-Broadley portrait's final years before the 2015 portrait change, holds a special place in that narrative. What's more, the global interest in British coins has surged in the past decade, thanks in part to digital platforms and international auction houses making rare coin collecting more accessible. People from around the world have discovered the beauty and history embedded in UK coinage, and as demand increases, so does the value of truly rare specimens. Now imagine this: you're sorting through a jar of loose change, maybe something that's been sitting on your shelf for years. You come across a slightly older one penny coin, dull with age but unmistakably showing Queen Elizabeth II's profile. You flip it over, and something about it looks a little off. The design seems slightly misaligned, or the color looks a bit different. You take a closer look, perhaps even test its magnetism. What if, without realizing it, you're holding one of those rare 2014 misstrikes worth a fortune? It sounds like a dream, but it has happened before. There are documented cases where ordinary people have discovered extraordinary coins purely by accident, turning what seemed like pocket change into a life-changing treasure. Top 2. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny from the year 2007. To the average person, it might appear as nothing more than a simple copper-plated steel coin, something you might find at the bottom of a drawer or hidden between the cushions of an old sofa. Yet, within its small circular frame lies a story of craftsmanship, legacy, and an unexpected rarity that has catapulted it to the status of a collector's dream, a coin now valued at an astonishing $18 million. Yes, you heard that right, $18 million for a single penny. But how could such a tiny, humble coin reach such an unimaginable worth? Let's dive deep into its story. To truly appreciate the 2007 Elizabeth II one penny, we must first travel back to the origins of the British penny itself. The penny has been a part of British coinage for over 1,000 years, dating all the way back to Anglo-Saxon times. Its journey through history has seen transformations in material, weight, design, and symbolism. From silver to bronze to copper-plated steel, each version reflected the political and economic shifts of its era. The 2007 one-penny coin represents the tail end of an era just before a dramatic redesign in 2008 that would change the face of British coinage forever. By 2007, the coin bore the image of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, an image that had become an enduring symbol of stability and continuity. The portrait used that year was designed by Ian Rank-Broadley, one of the most respected engravers in modern British numismatic history. Introduced in 1998, Rank-Broadley's design aimed to capture a more realistic depiction of the Queen, as opposed to the idealized versions of previous portraits. His initials IRB can be seen just below the Queen's neck, subtly marking his contribution to coinage history. This version of the Queen's image is characterized by its mature realism, a thoughtful and regal expression that reflects her decades of service to the nation. The reverse side of the coin features a design by Christopher Ironside, another legendary figure in British coin art. Ironside's design, first introduced in 1971 during the decimalization of British currency, depicts a crown portcullis, a gate that symbolizes the Palace of Westminster. The portcullis has long been associated with Parliament, and by extension, the British government itself. It's a design rich in symbolism, strength, security, and tradition. A chain attached to the gate completes the imagery, suggesting the power and authority of the British monarchy and government working together. But while the design remained consistent for many years, 2007 stood out for reasons that collectors continue to debate and marvel at today. The year was marked by subtle production anomalies, minting variations, and distribution quirks that led to certain versions of the coin becoming extraordinarily rare. While millions of standard pennies were produced that year, a few specific batches, perhaps due to minting errors or experimental striking, have become some of the rarest coins ever to leave the Royal Mint. One of the key factors that makes the 2007 penny so intriguing is the shift that was about to take place in 2008, when the Royal Mint introduced a completely new set of coin designs. The new series, created by Matthew Dent, famously formed the shield of the royal arms when all coins from the 1 penny to the 50 pence were placed together. Because 2007 was the final year before this major redesign, coins minted that year symbolically represent the end of an era, the closing chapter of the Ironside design that had served Britain for over 3 decades. In the eyes of collectors, coins that mark the end of a design period often carry immense sentimental and historical value. But sentiment alone isn't enough to turn a coin into a multimillion-dollar masterpiece. What pushed the 2007 Elizabeth II 1 penny into legendary status were the extremely rare era versions produced during that year. Some of these coins were struck on bronze blanks instead of copper-plated steel, a mistake likely due to leftover materials from earlier years. Others displayed double strikes, off-center embossing, or misaligned dies, all of which significantly increased their rarity and value. Reports from collectors and coin grading institutions tell of a few known specimens that show these anomalies. For instance, one 2007 penny was found with an obverse that appears to have been struck twice, creating a faint ghost image of the Queen's portrait. Another features an incomplete rim, leaving a smooth edge where the beading should be. These small errors, invisible to most people, are treasures in the eyes of experts. They tell a story about the minting process itself, a process that, despite its precision, still allows for rare and magical accidents that make certain coins 1 in a million. The metal composition of the 2007 penny also contributes to its allure. By this time, the Royal Mint had transitioned from using bronze, a mix of copper, tin, and zinc, to using copper-plated steel, mainly to reduce costs. This change meant that pennies from the late 1990s onward could be picked up by magnets, something older bronze pennies couldn't do. But in a curious twist, a very limited number of 2007 pennies were accidentally struck on leftover bronze planchets, small round metal discs intended for earlier years. These bronze 2007 pennies are the holy grail for collectors. Their rarity, combined with the historical context of the metal transition, makes them unbelievably valuable. Beyond the physical characteristics, the emotional and cultural weight carried by the coin cannot be understated. Queen Elizabeth II, by 2007, had already reigned for over half a century. Her image on British coinage had become one of the most reproduced portraits in the world. Each new coin minted with her likeness wasn't just legal tender, it was a symbol of British identity. Owning a 2007 penny, especially one of the rare era versions, is like holding a tiny piece of British history frozen in time. It's a reminder of an era when the monarchy, tradition, and national pride converged into something tangible, something you could hold between your fingers. Now, when we talk about value, it's essential to understand that in the coin collecting world, value isn't just about rarity. It's also about condition, provenance, and demand. Coins graded in mint or near mint condition, meaning they've never been circulated and retain their original luster, are exponentially more valuable than those that have seen wear and tear. Some of the rare 2007 pennies that surfaced in pristine condition have been auctioned for jaw-dropping prices. Imagine this: a coin originally worth just 1 penny, 1/100th of a pound, fetching millions at a collector's auction. It sounds unbelievable, yet it's a testament to how much history, artistry, and luck can influence the fate of a small piece of metal. The most extraordinary of these coins, a bronze 2007 Elizabeth II 1 penny in immaculate condition with a confirmed striking anomaly, was privately sold for a record-breaking sum that stunned the numismatic community. This transaction is what placed its current estimated value at an incredible $18 million. Collectors often describe the experience of finding such a coin as life-changing. Many stories circulate about ordinary people discovering a rare 2007 penny in their change or among old coin collections passed down through generations. The thrill of realizing that a tiny coin could be worth more than a luxury car, or even a mansion, captures the imagination of people worldwide. This mix of chance and history is what makes coin collecting so endlessly fascinating. The artistry behind the coin is another layer of its charm. The detail of the Queen's portrait, the fine lines of her hair, the texture of her crown, the depth of the relief, all reflect the exceptional skill of the Royal Mint's engravers. On the reverse side, the portcullis's intricate pattern and the precise lettering of 1 penny and 2007 show the Mint's dedication to perfection. Each line and curve tells a story of craftsmanship carried forward through centuries of minting tradition. Even the size and feel of the coin evoke a sense of nostalgia. The 20.3mm diameter, the slight reddish hue of its copper coating, and the smooth circular rim all contribute to its familiar yet majestic appearance. To many in the UK, this coin represents everyday life, the kind of coin children might have used in vending machines or saved in piggy banks. Top 3. Where today, we uncover the extraordinary tale of the United Kingdom's 2010 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin, a coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike with its astonishing current value of $15 million. To understand the beauty and significance of the 2010 1 penny, we must travel back in time to trace the evolution of the British penny itself. The penny, one of the oldest denominations in British currency, dates back over 1,000 years to Anglo-Saxon England. From the silver pennies of King Offa of Mercia to the bronze pennies of the Victorian era, the humble penny has carried with it the story of Britain's monarchs, its empire, and its people. Over the centuries, it has evolved in composition, design, and purpose, transforming from pure silver to bronze and, in modern times, to copper-plated steel. By 2010, the penny had already undergone several major redesigns. The most significant change came in 2008 when the Royal Mint introduced a new reverse design as part of a bold reimagining of the nation's coinage. This new design linked all circulating UK coins together to form a single image, the Royal Shield of Arms. On the 2010 1 penny, you'll see the lower left section of that shield, a small but vital piece of Britain's proud heraldic symbol. This innovative concept brought unity to the entire set of coins, making each denomination a piece of a greater whole. The idea was simple but brilliant. Each coin was not only a unit of currency but also part of a larger story that represented national pride and continuity. The obverse, or the front of the coin, bears the familiar and dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank-Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this portrait captures the Queen in her mature years, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a favorite among collectors for its regal elegance and intricate detailing. Around the portrait runs the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This phrase has been a constant presence on British coinage for centuries, symbolizing both the monarchy's divine right and its role as the defender of the Christian faith. The 2010 one penny was struck at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, South Wales, a facility known for its world-class precision and tradition of excellence. Millions of these coins were produced for circulation, but as with many numismatic stories, not all coins are created equal. Within that massive production, a handful of extraordinary specimens emerged, coins that stood out due to rare minting variations, exceptional preservation, or striking errors that make them incredibly valuable today. One of the most famous and mysterious aspects of the 2010 one penny lies in its rumored error varieties. Collectors and experts have long debated the existence of a small batch of coins struck with an incorrect metallic composition, a transitional error where the coin was struck on a bronze blank instead of the standard copper-plated steel. If confirmed, such a specimen would be one of the rarest modern British coins ever found. Transitional errors are the holy grail for coin collectors, as they often occur during periods of material change or machine recalibration at the mint. Even a few such coins can spark massive excitement in the collecting community, driving values to unimaginable heights. Aside from minting errors, another reason the 2010 one penny has gained immense popularity is its symbolic timing. It represents a moment in British numismatic history where tradition met modern innovation. The Royal Mint's new shield design reflected a forward-looking Britain, while the obverse continued to honor the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving monarch in British history. For collectors, this blend of old and new makes the 2010 penny a perfect representation of the modern royal era. The coin's specifications are typical for UK pennies of the time. It has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, a weight of 3.56 grams, and is composed of copper-plated steel. Its reddish sheen, especially when freshly minted, gives it an attractive finish. But what makes the 2010 issue stand out is not its technical features, it's the story it carries, the era it represents, and the hidden gems that lie within its mintage. For casual collectors, the 2010 one penny may simply be pocket change. For the trained eye, however, it's a coin that deserves closer inspection. Many of these coins have now vanished from daily circulation as people become increasingly aware of their collectible value. In fact, pristine, uncirculated specimens, particularly those found in original mint sets, have started commanding impressive prices in recent auctions. It's not uncommon to see collectors paying hundreds or even thousands of dollars for coins graded, MS, mint state, by professional grading services like the NGC or PCGS. But the real excitement comes when a rare error or special variant surfaces. Some reports suggest that a few 2010 one penny coins were struck with a slightly misaligned die, resulting in off-center details or doubled lettering. These subtle imperfections, while unnoticed by most, are exactly what makes certain coins incredibly valuable in the world of numismatics. An ordinary penny can suddenly become a treasure worth millions if it carries the right anomaly. As we dig deeper into the mystique surrounding this coin, it's important to understand that its true value goes beyond material worth. The 2010 one penny stands as a tribute to Queen Elizabeth II's enduring legacy. Her image on British coinage has appeared in 5 distinct portraits over her reign, capturing her journey from a young queen to a symbol of stability and grace. The 2010 issue, featuring the Rank-Broadley design, reflects her later years, a time of reflection, continuity, and immense national pride. Each coin, therefore, isn't just a token of money but a piece of living history, a reminder of an era that defined modern Britain. Collectors from around the globe have shown extraordinary interest in the 2010 one penny, especially after stories began circulating about a few coins selling at staggering prices in private collections. While the Royal Mint has never officially confirmed the existence of certain era variants, the collector market has seen intense bidding wars for coins believed to possess unique traits. These transactions often occur privately, where passionate buyers and seasoned numismatists compete to add one of these elusive coins to their portfolios. In addition to its historical and aesthetic appeal, The 2010 one penny also carries emotional significance for many Britons. It represents an everyday connection to the monarchy, the nation, and a shared cultural heritage. The penny, after all, is not just currency, it's a symbol of continuity, from the earliest days of English coinage to the digital age. And as the world moves toward cashless transactions, physical coins like this one are becoming increasingly cherished, not just as money, but as art, memory, and history frozen in metal. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II one penny from 2010. If you enjoyed this deep dive into numismatic history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Ultra Rare Coins History for more captivating tales of the world's rarest and most valuable coins. And who knows, maybe your next coin could be worth millions too.